going to talk about how to solve using angle pair relationships for the value of x as well as the value of all the other angles in the picture. So first I'm going to cue what we're doing. We're solving for x and then finding the measure of all of the angles. So step one, if you cannot remember your vocabulary, is to put in your a's and your b's. So I'm going to put in my a's and my b's. And I notice that I have two b's, which means they're going to be equal. Remember, all a's are equal to a's, all b's equal b's, and a plus b equals 180. Okay, you could also use your vocabulary here. These are alternate interior angles, which means they should be congruent, which is what we said with our b's and a's. So we're going to set them equal. We've got 9x plus 3 equals 8x plus 11. Now from here you could type this straight into Desmos and it'll give you an answer for your value of x. I'm going to solve it by hand here. Okay, so subtract 8x from both sides and subtract 3 from both sides. So we get x equals 8. So we've done step one. We found the value of x. The second is to solve for one of the given angle measures by taking x and plugging it back in. So I'm going to say 9 times 8 plus 3, okay, which is 72 plus 3, or 75 degrees. So that means everywhere I see a B, my value is 75 degrees. Oops. Okay, so now to find the value of A, we just subtract 75 from 180 because A's and B's are related because they add up to 180, and when we subtract we get 105. So everywhere I see an A is going to be 105 degrees. Okay, so everywhere there's an A, it's 105. All right, let's try the next one. Okay, we're still doing the same thing. We're solving for x and finding the measures of all of the angles. Again, if you use vocabulary, this is corresponding. Same spot, different lines. They would be congruent. Or you could use your A's and B's here. And notice that they are both B's. So again, we would set them equal. So we have 12x plus 4 equals 13x minus 4. I'm going to subtract 12x from both sides and add 4 to both sides. So we get 8 equals x again. Okay, so 8 equals x, and then I'm going to plug 8 into one of my numbers. So I'm going to do 12 times 8 plus 4, which gives me 96 plus 4, which is 100. Okay, so everywhere I see a B, it's 100. Okay, to find all of my A's, okay, I'm going to take 100 and I'm going to subtract it from 180 to get 80. And so all of my A's would be 80 degrees. Okay, all of my A's are 80 degrees. Okay, so again, you can either use your vocabulary or you can use your A's and B's. Either one is a wonderful tool to help you solve these problems. Okay, let's check another one. So here, again, we're still doing the same thing. We're solving for x and finding the measure of all of the angles. So the vocabulary word here is consecutive interior, which means they would add up to be 180. You can also discover that from your A's and your B's. So I'm going to put my A's and B's in here. Notice that I have an A and a B, and we said A plus B would equal 180. So we combine our pieces to be 180 degrees. So we've got 2x plus 190 equals 180. Subtract 190 from both sides. So I get 2x equals negative 10, divide by 2, x is negative 5. It is okay to get a negative x value. It is not okay to get a negative angle. So getting x as negative 5 is fine as long as when we plug it back in, we still get a positive value. So if I put negative 5 in for x for one of my a's, I get negative 5 plus 105, which is 100. So all of my a's are 100 degrees. Okay, now I can either take negative 5 and plug it in for the b's, or I can subtract 100 from 180, and I would still get the same thing, right? I still get 80 degrees. So I'm going to put 80 for all of my b's. Okay, now not every problem is going to ask you to solve all the way through. To find the values of all of the angles. Some will just want the value of x, some will want the value of a specific angle. So please make sure you're reading the questions thoroughly to understand what they're asking you for. All right, here is the last one. I want you to solve for x, and I want you to find the values of the measure of all the angles there on your own. And go ahead and feel free to pause the video so you can work it out and then check with the work that I put up here for you. Okay, so we would have found that x was 4. Okay, all of your b's were 117 because they already given us that, and all of our a's were 63. Okay, if you have any further questions, please feel free to see me in class and ask me anything you've got.